Oh, hello. My name is Mara, and welcome to Books Like Whoa. Okay, so now that Thanksgiving has passed, at least American Thanksgiving, that was yesterday, so today is the lovely day known as Black Friday. Now, me and my family, we are not about that 3 a.m. punching somebody over a TV life. I know some people enjoy that. That's just not our gig. We are much more Cyber Monday kind of people. But we are in the season of gift giving, whether you're celebrating Christmas or Hanukkah or any other. There's just a lot of gift giving at this time of year. So yeah, I just wanted to give you some recommendations for things that have come out, mostly come out this year. Like, I think there's one or two exceptions to that, that I recommend as potential things that would be good gift books for people. Now, last year I did a 3-part video series where I gave you my exhaustive, like, from when I was a bookseller kind of list of things that I would recommend as gifts for people and sort of like approaches to buying gifts for people. So I will link all of that somewhere. I think I also did a video last year on tips for buying books around the holidays. So I will also link that or put it in the description box. It will be somewhere. So like all of that pretty much still stands. This is mostly a supplemental video for one or two things that are backlist things that I have discovered this year and think would make a good gift for someone. So I'll add that, but most of these are this year releases that I think are going to be big holiday book gift things. So I just wanted to highlight a few of those and give you some ideas if you are looking for gift ideas for the people in your life. I do think that books often make a great gift. Can be a very general gift for somebody you don't know as well, all the way down to a very personalized gift for somebody you do know very well. So I think that they're a good go-to if you need a gift for someone. So let's start with a couple of things that came out this year that I think are good gift ideas as sort of less personal gifts or kind of more for many different tastes kind of gifts. So like think about if you need to get like your kid's teacher a gift, if you want to get somebody something just sort of light and sort of like almost like a coffee table type book or something for their shelves. I have two suggestions for that. One is Lin-Manuel Miranda just published a little illustrated book with a lot of his good morning, good night tweets, which are just sort of like, it's little pep talks for me and you. I think that this is a great gift for almost anyone as just sort of like little, like almost affirmations. I think he kind of started them in the Trump era because everybody's just like so wound up all the time that a lot of these are just like, you got this, like you're gonna be okay, like you're gonna do what you need to do for yourself today and don't worry about it. So I think that this is a great gift for sort of like just a little encouragement for someone, and it's not super personal, I think, so it'll work for a lot of different people. And then another, I picked this as a Penguin Clothbound classic that literally just came out, I think, in October. So this is a new release for this year. I think that this is one of the most beautiful ones that they've put out. And I do think that if you aren't quite sure what to get somebody, that a beautiful classic edition can be a great path. And like, if you happen to know their taste in classics, that's even better, but like just like pick one that's really beautiful or one that you personally like and can say like, hey, this is one I really like and I thought this was a beautiful addition. This also might be a cool option because there was this big controversy in Spain this year about Don Quixote, so it's sort of like in the news. It's been in the news this year, so it's beautiful, newly released this year, and it's somewhat topical. So anyway, yeah, I think that this can be a good route as sort of like more general book present idea. Okay, and then moving into a couple of literary fiction picks, I decided to go with a couple of things that are short, and in general when I'm giving books as gifts I often want to go kind of a shorter route just because if the person isn't a huge reader or whatever, I don't know, I just think that it's a little less intimidating of a gift sometimes. So the first recommendation, I'm basically going to recommend my two favorite books so far this year, but they both came out this year, or at least were re-released this year. So How to Be Safe by Tom McAllister is very topical because it deals with a mass shooting at a school, but it's literary fiction that has a little bit of magical realism in it. I absolutely love this book. I really would love to see it find more readers. I don't think it's been a big book by any stretch, but it's one that I really enjoy and really recommend. So in terms of like a literary fiction pick this year that's really very short, I think it's about 250 pages maybe, not even, it's like 200 pages. So something pretty short. It's very topical, and depending on the person's political persuasion, you may want to take that into account, but this was really good. And then the other short work that I would recommend for this year was Ayiti by Roxane Gay, which is my favorite thing I've read so far this year. It was originally published, I believe, in 2011, but it was re-released this year. I actually have a hardback copy on my way to me from Book Depository, which I'm very excited about. So it's in paperback or hardback. It's just a great collection of short stories that all are kind of thematically linked to Haiti. Roxane Gay is a beautiful writer, at least to me. I really enjoy her prose style. And yeah, it's a really good little short story collection that's pretty approachable, and so thought I would put that in the mix as a potential idea, something short. And I think it's a beautiful cover, so it's also very giftable in the sense of being a nice object to give somebody. Okay, a few nonfiction picks that I thought might be good. And all of these have a very specific political slant to them, so your mileage may vary there. I acknowledge that on the front end, but, well, I will say this because I know she will not see this. The book I'm getting my mother this year is the new Ruth Bader Ginsberg biography by Jane Sherron de Hart. I've heard that it's really good. I just got the audio version of it, so I'm looking forward to reading that. And me and my mom watched the RBG documentary that came out. We actually did that the night before my father's funeral, and it was a nice, like, really affirming, uplifting thing that really hit the spot. So we both have been just sending each other lots of like articles or like little quotes and stuff from her in the last couple of months. So I'm excited to give that to her, and it's a big new biography. It's like a pretty chunky tome, so I think it's a good gift in the sense of being weighty if you want to make sure you're giving someone something substantial, and very timely because there was that documentary, and then there's also going to be a biopic of her life. I think that's coming out around Christmas. I think that might be our Christmas movie. So anyway, I thought that might be a good choice. My favorite piece of nonfiction that I've read this year is Stamped from the Beginning by Ibram X. Kendi, and that is a history of racist ideas in America towards Black people. So again, know your audience, but it is fantastic. It's something that I would recommend to literally anyone. Honestly, regardless of political persuasion, I think it's an important book, and I would really love to see everybody reading it. So there's a recommendation. In terms of my other favorite piece of nonfiction that I read this year was Eloquent Rage by Brittney Cooper. I'm not sure if this actually came out this year. It may have come out at the end of last year, but it's a recent book. And this, if somebody likes memoir, this might be a good choice for them. And it's sort of like memoir and pop culture and essays about feminism and race and things like that. So if that sort of kind of melange sounds like somebody you know would enjoy, I definitely recommend this. And I think it's just a really, really good book. And then in terms of a nonfiction suggestion for kids, so my nieces are really into history and into science. I already got them a book called Women in Science by Rachel Ignotofsky. Women in Science, and it's like profiles of 50 women scientists, and they really enjoyed that because, again, they like science and history, and it's a scientific history aimed at kids, and it's women, so that's cool. So this year I'm going to get them Women in Sports, which is the same idea, but it's all about female athletes. So those are two suggestions, like nonfiction suggestions for kids that might be good. So bridging over into graphic novels, I have a graphic novel memoir, which is March by John Lewis, and I think that this box set did come out this year, possibly, but these have been coming out over the last couple of years, but I think it only recently got finished. And I think giving someone this actual like box set, this was what I asked for my birthday, and I felt like it was a real treat, like it was a really nice gift. So I think that this could be a great way to go. Again, it's memoir, graphic novel, and also really a history of the American Civil Rights movement. And I think that this would be appropriate really from anybody in maybe like early high school up, so like let's say teens and up, I think could and should read this. It's really good. And then the other graphic novel I thought I would throw in here, just because this is really fun and I think could work for a lot of people, is The Adventure Zone Volume 1. So this is based on a popular podcast that I really enjoy. It makes me laugh, but it's a fantasy comedy graphic novel. So I think that it has a lot of kind of cross appeal. There's a lot of people who I think would enjoy it. I think the art is really cute. They actually have some fan art in the back, which I thought was a cute idea. And really, this is just a lot of fun, and I think a very giftable. I think that graphic novels in general can be a good gift idea because there's something a little bit different. And I think that this in particular would be a fun one to give somebody. And then finally, I think one of the sort of like safest bets in terms of giving somebody fiction, if you don't know their taste super well, is mysteries, just because I think mysteries appeal both, like they're marketed to both men and women, which that's how a lot of these book recommendations break down, sadly, just in terms of how things are marketed, whatever, we could get into a whole thing about that. But this is something that has like a lot of appeal for a lot of different audiences, I think, mystery does. And yeah, I just think that it's something that's pretty easy to give in terms of likelihood of somebody enjoying. Also, I think mysteries are a good like travel book, so if somebody's traveling over the holidays, you know, they can read it on the way home or whatever. So the first one I thought I would mention, these are both ones that came out this year that I recommend. The first one is Shari Lapena's An Unwanted Guest. I think this is a particularly good idea for Christmas just because it's set in a snowed-in bed and breakfast. So like it has baked into it sort of the wintry atmosphere, which is fun. It's pretty short, pretty easy to get through, and it's just a really, if it's a fun take on an isolated house trope, it's just a lot of fun. And then finally, The Broken Girls by Simone St. James. This is probably my favorite mystery that I've read so far this year. And yeah, I enjoyed this a lot. It has dual timelines. It has like a ghost kind of element to it. It does have a creepy old abandoned boarding school in it, so it has some of that kind of atmosphere to it. It's just really good. I recommend this a lot because I think it's really good. But yeah, it came out this year, so this could be a good choice in terms of a mystery that I think would appeal to a lot of different people. So those are my bookish gift guide suggestions for this year. Like I said, I think I did my full download last year, so I will link to that because most of what I said in that still stands, but these are just some updates, amendments based on things that have come out this year or that I have encountered this year. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. I hope that you are buying people books as gifts this year. I think that books as gifts are one of the best things you can do because it's one of the most cost-effective ways to give somebody an experience present, because you're giving them like hours of enjoyment and the whole experience of reading the book. And I also think it's really cool if you give somebody a book that you yourself have read, because then you can talk about it later, which is, I think, kind of fun. So anyway, buy books, help keep those booksellers in business, because this is a big time of year for them. And yeah, I guess that will do it. Definitely let me know if you guys are buying any books for folks for Christmas, if you have any suggestions about things that you think work well as gifts. Let me know below. And beyond that, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, follow me on the social medias if you are so inclined. I have all that information listed in the description box below. And I think that will do it. Hope you guys are having a really great day. Hope you're excited for the holiday season. And I will just talk to you soon. Bye!